more popular than Coca-Cola these days.
Okay.
The Nike.
But is it looking at you at least?
I don't want to be in it. You can hear my voice. You can make it.
I don't want to be in it. I don't want to be in it either. What's the point?
It's too late. We're on part 2. Adjonalach. Yeah, Masech the Sota. We'll do it quick.
There he's right here, man.
Is it really looking at me?
Yeah. Adjonalach. Arupa Slichala Masech the Sota. Hajnalach Agula Rupa, Slikala Masech Socha. Yeah, Sota, excuse me. Hajnalach. Yeah, we're good. We're live. Agula Rupa.
Always working. Always working.
Everything's good. Okay. Thank you guys.
No, Kaddish. No, you have more hadran. You have more stuff.
Masech Socha Hadrachalan. That's
Proud of
Masech
yourself.
Socha Dachalan. Those the same enough. Masech Socha Lodis the same enough. No Ba'ama Dem Lo Ba'ama Dasa. You some Penecha. Adinai Leinu V'Lev V'Seinu Shtei Tzor Seinu V'Seinu V'Lamazeh Tzem V'Lamabah. And Nina ba Papa, Rami ba Papa, Nachman ba Papa, Achai ba Papa, Abba Mari ba Papa, Rafram ba Papa, Rachish ba Papa, Sucha ba Papa, Ada ba Papa, Doro ba Papa. Harav na Adinai Leheinu et Divrei Sosecha b'Pinu Pios Amcha Beis Yisrael. Inyer Kulanu Anachnu Sasenu Sasev Sasenu Sasev Saseh Amcha Beis Yisrael Kulanu Yedei Shemech Num Dei Sosecha Lishma. Mo'evei Tachmeini Misvasecha Yi La'olam Yi Li Bi Samim B'Chukech Leman Lo Yevosh La'olam Eshkach Pikudecha Ki Vam Chiyisani Baruch Atah Adonai L'Mdei Chukech Amen 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 Celebrate Mo'evim Anachnu Lepenecha Adonai Le'im Le'Avasenu Samtach Halkeinu Moshe Beis Midrash Lo Samtach Halkeinu Moshe Karnos Shani Mashkim Behem Mashkim Ani Mashkim L'Divrei Torah Behem Mashkim L'Divar B'Tein Ani Amelim Behem Amelim Ani Amelim V'Kablim Sacha Behem Amelim V'Kablim Sacha Ani Ratzim Behem Ratzim Ani Ratzim L'Bachayim L'Mabah Behem Ratzim L'Ver Shachas Shenma Vata Elohim Teridem L'Ver Shachas Anshe Dami Mirma Lo Yechetz Yimayim Ani Avtach Boch Give us on Fenecha Adinah Elohai Kashem Shazartani L'Sayim Mesech T'Sot Ken Tazreni L'Atchil Mesech T'Svarim Achayrim Zera Shimshon L'Sayim L'Limud L'Lamed L'Shmol Asos L'Kayim Es Kol Divei Samet Sosech B'Ahava Chutz Kol Tanayim V'Amorem Tamidei Chachamim Yamad Li L'Zari Shelo Samush HaTorah Mepi Zari Zera Zari V'Ad Olam T'Skayam Bi Halacha Tancha Oitzcha L'Shafcha Tishmo Elecha Kisisi So Hi Tisichecha Ki V'Yerbu Yamecha Yisitu Lach Shonas Chaim Orach Yamim Mina Smola V'Oisha V'Choved Adonai Oz Lamu Yitain Adonai V'Rechus Shalom Yiskata V'Yiskata Shmei Rabo Ba'amiti Hu Asid Yischatata L'Chaya B'Saya L'Asaka L'Son L'Chaya Rama V'Vinya Kata D'Ushalem B'Shkara Heikalai V'Gavi Me'eka V'Chuchana Necha Min Ara L'Asava V'Chana T'Shmaya V'Asa Yam Lechit Sheberchu Malchusai V'Kai V'Yismach V'Konei V'Kar V'Shicha Amen Yom Echan V'Chai D'Chol Beit Tov V'Agalav Etzman Kaviv V'Imbu Amen Visada, Oshemay, the Kutsha, Berichu. In Kabachas, Shawasa, Tishbachas, and Echamasa, the Mama, Bimu. Amen. How is to have a man about Talmidai, welcome, Talmidai, Samidayon. Become man asking Baisa, the Basa, Day, we call Asa Basa. Yen on the Khan Shlama, Rabachin of Chista. Rachamin, Vachai, Vichim, as the neighbor of Vachim, Fokami Kodam, Ubam, the Shema, Baba, Amen. Shlama bin Shema Chaim, Tovim, Elaine of Alkoisma, Amen. I say Shalom Bimabu Yas, Shalom Elaine of Alkoisma, Bimbu,
Let's go to bed. All right, now we're gonna do this one a little quicker. It's a little longer. We have less time.
We're gonna do the whole Megilat?
No, we got a lot of Zera Shimshon here, but we can only do bed.
When are they reading it, like officially?
So usually we do it by my house, but we're going to my in-laws for the lunch, which is annoying. Very weird. All right. Listen, boys, go to bed. Okay, it's a very interesting one. The pasuk says, remember, Ruth talks to. Ruth
Just said hi.
Who did? Oh my. Usually it's past the bedtime. All right, listen, boys, listen up. The pasuk says, "Enaich basadeh shed yiksorun, be'halacht acharehen, alo siviti et hanarim lebilti nogech." Says Boaz tells Ruth, keep your eyes on the sadeh that they already harvested, and go after the guys that harvested. I commanded the guys not to bother you. Okay, actually, the pasuk says nogech is lashon negiat, to touch you. I promised them that I told them not to touch you. Leave you alone.
Rough dudes out there?
So that's part of the question. What kind of question is that? What kind of thing is that? Is it possible that an almana and a gioret have a problem when they go collect leket? Azato, what do you want from them? You're gonna push around?
The youth as well, you know.
Yeah, what do you want from them? Leave them alone. Right? That is so much they had to say something. And also the pasuk says, "Kol almana ve'yatom." Right? The pasuk in pasuk of the Parshat says, no, it's not Shemot Kabet. It's not Shemot. It's
No, sorry, it's in
what's
I
Kabet?
think it's Mishpatim.
Shpatim, possibly. The pasuk says, "Kol almana ve'yatom lo te'anun." Don't bother them. You have to give extra attention to a yatom almana. Yatom is an orphan, and almana is a widower. Now, how far does yatom? How far does that go? Yatom goes until the guy's married. Once he's married, he doesn't have the label yatom anymore.
Whoa, nice.
Yes, I learned that.
Cool.
Right? Because, of course, by the way, even more so, the ne'arim of Boaz is what's it called? It's Mishpatim. The ne'arim of Boaz was Sadiqim. What do you mean? Boaz was head of Sanhedrin. That also is what's it called, right? So what's the problem? You had to tell them? Makes no sense. By the way, you should label this the root. You should have labeled it Bamidbar. Eli. You should label it root. All the root. Okay? So
Bamidbar is the time.
no, it's gonna be a buzzkill if you say Bamidbar and then open it. So
Yeah,
it's completely different.
I'll change it.
You should change it. Thank you, sir. Shebevadayu gedurim min ha'arva min ha'chayta. They were for sure careful not to make a sin, right? And also, how could it be? Why did he have to say I commanded them? Right? With the beginning of the pasuk, it says how?
How the two connections?
How
the first part?
How is the first part of the pasuk connected to the last part? The first pasuk says "Halo sivit." No, the first part says "Enaich." Right? You watch the sadeh, you go to this sadeh, and the last part says "Asher siviti." I commanded them. Right? So it seems why? Because the lashon of the pasuk seems that he had to tell her, "Don't worry, I already told them, not to touch you." The pasuk, if I were to tell her, go to Bethlehem, don't worry, I spoke to all the residents; they're not going to touch you. That's exactly what it sounds like, because you needed to tell the residents, don't touch you. You understand? Because Bethlehem.
Her specifically.
So yes, the pasuk. If you read the pasuk, "Enaich basadeh," keep your eyes on the field. Asher yiksorun, that were already cut. Ve'halacht acharehen, go after them. Halo siviti, that I already commanded the ne'arim lebilti niget, to make sure they don't touch you. First question is, why did you tell them not to touch you? It's a little strange.
The part that was already cut.
Well, that's shechicha, like it.
Shechicha is okay. By the way, you got what is shechicha? What's leke? Shechicha is when you have the guys collecting, right? You have a field. You pay the workers to go collect. They go collect. What do? They're cutting the stuff, right? And they're collecting. If one guy doesn't get it, right, he has to leave it. If he forgets to pick it up, he has to leave it. Meaning you can't go around. Right.
Okay.
Leket is different. Leket is anything that's left over. also gets for the poor people.
Three things.
Okay.
Leket, shechicha,
And that.
and peah.
Okay.
Peah is what?
The corner of the field.
Corners.
Now you just
And-
deliberately leave.
There's not an
Right,
amount.
payah is-
Leket, you deliberate. Shechicha, you forget.
No,
And- and
payah is
shiur.
like.
Peah is deliberate, so is leket.
No, no,
Like it's,
no.
well, like it, like
No,
you do by accident.
No, the shikha is what you do by accident. Like it is when you pick it, you're gathering it.
Yeah.
Whatever you get, you
Fall
gather.
offs.
Right.
Whatever falls off, you
Yeah,
right. You
yeah.
can't pick up. Whatever you fall off, you can't pick up.
Is that still today?
Yeah. But again,
Yes.
But you know, organization like it is it's called. Right?
Let-
You know that one?
Thankfully,
No,
we
that's a
have
different. That's a
that.
different organization. Leket Israel.
Like it said, but what they do is, you know, they just go to farms or whatever, you know, that people don't want to take the, you know, supermarkets won't take, you know, any little damage to or even no damage, doesn't look good. It says, so everything's like thrown away, so they go collect all that.
I'm still waiting to do that
Yeah.
thing for you.
Yeah, but it's like an.
You just let me know.
just
I'm asking for a date.
Okay.
I'm asking for a
What's the
date.
date? What are you leaving secrets
I'm
here?
asking for a date. If you want to come, I'll tell you that night, and you have to drop what you're doing. and Come.
Where?
There's wedding halls. There's
Oh, yeah,
wedding
they
halls.
Pick up the food.
Yeah, so I told her I want to do it. Yeah, I want to do it. What's taking so long, by the way?
No, I'm just wasn't into it.
Could you get into it? Come on.
Yeah.
What a better thing. What better
And then what, you give it, and you bring it to like,
organization. Let them
Yeah,
land it
it's
out.
like, you know, it's organizations that are like, yeah, it's like an intimate, it's like food.
You
know,
need me to
it's
talk to the
regulations
guys? I'll
that-
talk to the guys. Oh, kashrut now, and everyone's
Sakkal.
it's like it happened with
It's like, where is this? Like,
it happened right there. It happened
Oh.
where there was 60 families from Ukraine that came in, and right before Pesach, I said we were going to donate the wine, so they could, right? So I said we use Shabbat wine that we like,
Yeah.
and when they sampled the wine, and the woman who's in charge of the whole situation, she goes, "It's too sweet." Like, it's too sweet. It's too sweet. You joking me? It's too sweet. What is it, grape juice? I got into a whole fight with her. It was funny. No, it's good. It's okay. It's okay. We ended up getting what she wanted. It was very funny. It was funny. But yeah, I would love to do that. So anyway, the second question we're saying is that what is the connection of the first pasuk have to do with the last pasuk? It means to say that there's something here that needed to be done. Okay, you with me, everyone? It says in Parshat Ki, right? We went over v'shachachta omer b'sadeh lo tashuv lekachto. So we're going to explain in Pe'ah, okay, the Masechet Pe'ah, Mishnah Dalet, that explains what is considered for something that's forgot you leave. If it's called Bal Tashuv or not. Bal Tashuv means you cannot go back. Which, okay? So if you have one guy collecting the stuff and it falls down, leave it. If you have two guys, it's not considered forgetting because I could have the second guy pick it up. Because if there's a guy in the back of me and the guy in front of me, if I drop it, I know the guy behind me is going to get it. That's the purpose of his existence in this situation. Okay? However,
And she was collecting leftovers.
one second, we didn't get to her yet. We're just explaining. You need to know this in order to understand the pasuk. Okay? So Rabbeinu Ovadia ben Bar Tinura explains, She'im she'evchu b'nehem, right? Nishar omer ahad b'nehem, it's not considered shecha, and they're allowed to pick it up. And the Tosfot Yom Tov comes and says that specifically when you're not alone. Shecha is only when you're alone. Meaning, if you have other people with you, it's not considered shecha because it clearly says in the Mishnah that if there's a guy behind you, it's not considered shecha because he can pick it up after me. Good. Now you can understand the what's it called, the midrash. Boaz is telling Ruth.
If you're last guy, so then you leave it.
Huh?
If you last guy in the row,
No. Oh, you're saying if there's 3 or 4 guys collecting the field and he's the last guy, there shouldn't be anything left, by the way, if the third guy.
The last one who leaves.
I would imagine it's
like a down
shecha.
check, you know,
I would
like a
imagine.
down check.
I would imagine shecha.
Some stuff
So Boaz is telling Ruth, right? Go to the field that was already harvested, shekavar katzru, and go after them and grab everything. Why? Because vehakol yesh shela, regardless if it's leket and regardless if it's shecha. Boaz is telling Ruth, I'm giving you everything. Whatever you want, you pick. And v'amar lakach, why?
It was his field?
Yeah, of course.
I missed that part.
Yeah,
I thought it was
what do you
just like
mean?
the rabbi has that hedge.
No, he had
guys,
fields.
take it easy.
No, it's
Oh, okay.
his. No, his field.
Alright.
Of course, he owns it. So that he owns it. He's telling her, go take whatever you want. Leket shecha, no one else is touching, no one isn't even coming. My guys are not taking anything that's off the ground. They're leaving everything for you. Why? Of course he was. Of course he was. Yeah, but Boaz is very cool. Boaz, hands down. Boaz is one of the three people. It says in Mishnah Berurah, if you have a temptation, you say PPP. You go. P. If you have a thought in your head, you want to get out. You have a bad thought. You say. P. You're supposed to have three. Yeah, you're supposed to have three people in mind. Yosef, Boaz, and Pelet.
Palti ben Laish.
Palti, thank you very much.
Palti ben Laish.
All right, very good, on point. Look at that. That was good. Not only my promoter, but also backs me. Palti. Three people. Palti was in Navi.
He ended up marrying Michal, who was David Melech's wife, but he never touched her. Because he was
Shaul's daughter.
Yeah,
Shaul said to David, "You build Goliath, I'll give you my
He
daughter."
put a sword in between their beds, and he wouldn't go near her. So he's remembered for all the generations as one of the people who's
He withstood his tava. Psycho. It's crazy. He did. First was Yosef.
She was
How is
beautiful.
that a good thing? With a
Huh?
wife?
What?
Yeah, how is that a
How
good
is that a
thing?
good thing? with a
Because
wife?
she wasn't allowed to
She
him.
was really still David's wife.
She belonged to David, but Shaul was playing games, so you're not getting her.
Oh, he was still
Yeah,
alive.
this whole situation.
Now.
Yeah, this whole situation.
Ah.
Now, so you have Yosef Sadiq. You have Boaz. Boaz was gonna marry. We knew he was gonna marry, but we didn't touch her. It says in the end that she slept by his feet. The pasuk goes out his way. No, but not before they got married. In Zohar it says they got married. They had the first night. She got impregnated. The next day he died.
Wow. So that was like his last mission.
That's what he was needed.
These are the three men
So the
that
next day-
You think about conquer, overcome the inclination. Therefore, Mishnah Berurah says that you think, and you go, because you're also spitting on the tava. Yeah? And those are three people. Okay, moving on. Come on. I want to get through this. So why did he do this? He did this in order so she could act b'siniut. Because when you're doing leket, when you're bending down, it's hard on the knees. So that people generally would just bend down straight instead of bending their knees down and grabbing the leket. So now she had time, she could be proper. Okay, there wasn't going to be people around her and all that. But she shouldn't go, or she shouldn't have to go in front of the.
Was she collecting for Naomi?
Yeah. Naomi tells her.
Okay.
Naomi tells her where to go. Go to this field.
Okay.
Now here comes the question. It comes a great question, right? We know that there's many ne'arim, right? Boaz had a lot of fields and had a lot of workers. It wasn't one guy. It wasn't it had a lot of guys. Ma sheyesh laharem is not considered shechicha. It's not considered shechicha because we learned before in the Mishnah, if you get it now, if there's more than one person, it's not considered shechicha because he's relying on the guy behind him to get it. That's his job, right? And in order that Ruth should not be afraid that the Ne'arim are not going to let her take what she wants because it's not considered shechicha because there's multiple guys in the field. Okay?
That's why you have to tell them?
לפיכך הקדים לומר לה, הלא סיוויתי את הנערים לבלתי נוגח. I instructed the guys not to touch you. Meaning, in the Syrian world, and back in the day, we had retail stores. There was a term called husho. If you saw a guy stealing,
it's Asha, yeah.
there's a husho at the front. Nobody knew what it meant. And as the guy's trying to leave, the other guy would come and intercept him. Okay? That was the thing. So in order that the Ne'arim would not think that she's a husho, you understand? That she's a husho, they says, it's true. Right? Even though according to the din, it's not shicha, Boaz did not want to be makpid on it and told his boys, leave it alone, let her take it. Good, very nice. But there's a very great question. If Boaz wanted to give her a present, why didn't he just give her a present? What did he make her go collect the stuff in the field for? Boaz did all this, had a meeting with his employees to make sure that they don't, bother her. So let her just give her what you want to give her. What do you make her go to the field for? You understand the question?
Spare her. feelings, maybe?
It's even more to just give it to me. What do you make me do the work for?
No, but it's the opposite.
Why?
That's why she doesn't feel like she's obligated.
She's collecting like a pauper. Do me a favor.
Right, better to get a gift than to make her work like a dog. You don't have to collect after
Yeah,
to get the
so
scraps.
It's a good question, no?
maybe he wanted to see her more. He like feel if that was.
Nah, I'm sure he would have scored points if he would have gave her a gift as opposed to making her say, go to my field of fit and go collect all the stuff on the floor.
Send her
She
money.
won't feel
You
indebted.
can send
No,
her
come
money.
on, come on.
You could send her money. in
He
a
could
way-
just
in a
give
way-
her something nice and give her a gift
No,
and
in
tell
a
the
way,
boys,
בכבוד ובהצנע, but-
no, don't cheat, don't cheat.
What?
ואם תאמר, מה שהייתה כוונת בועז היה שאם היה רוצה לתת לה, if he wanted to give משלו, היה יכול לתת לה בהצנע ובכבוד.
Yeah, exactly.
שלא שתתבזה ללכת בשדה. Why did he make her go to the field?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, not even like.
Not
he
even a
wouldn't
nice
give
way.
Her, he give her like openly, but he could arrange stuff that she wouldn't be in the need to go even.
But he
now.
didn't.
She even wouldn't know
Why?
like where the guy.
So that's the question. That's the question. That's the Zera Shimshon's question.
What's the answer?
Well, chill your balls. Let me get there. I'll answer you another question. Before I answer that question, there's another question. That why didn't Boaz give her anything at all? Not the first time and not the last time. He meets her, he talks to her, he doesn't give her nothing. How you doing? Go.
You knew, you knew he was gonna die after one night with her.
No, you didn't know. You didn't know. Ela bepama hara. What does it say about the last time he sees her? He says, "Vayamot shes." He counts 6 bundles of seorim barley. Seorim's barley, no?
Yes.
All right. Vayashet alea. He puts it on her. He doesn't give her. He's just like, here, take it, like that, literally, right? Ve'eno omer shenatanam la b'ma. He doesn't say, I'm giving it as a gift. It only puts it on her. And after that, when Ruth goes to Naomi, what does he say? What does he say? She say, Shesh haseorim ha'ele natan li ki amar elai. He told to me, Al tavoi rekam el hamoter. Don't come to your mother-in-law empty-handed. Where do you see that Naomi says to Ruth, her daughter-in-law, go to these fields and don't come back with nothing? You never see that in Pesukim. She doesn't say that. She just says, go over there. Right? And we don't see that Boaz gave a matana beferush, only that he puts it on her. And also, Naomi never said, Al tavoi rekam, because the Pasuk says on Boaz's side, don't go to your mother-in-law empty-handed. So you don't see anywhere that Naomi tells Ruth, don't come back empty-handed. And the other question is, why does the Pasuk say, Eli? It's written Eli. I'm sorry, we read it Eli, but it's written Velo. In Masechet Nedarim, Lamed Zayin Amud Bet, explains, it's great, crazy, it's great Gemara. It goes all where Moshe Sinai, what came from what, and it also brings up, Josh, why is the it's written like this, but we read it like this.
Well, Chaim mentions that
It's
this
written
week's
like
parsha.
this, yeah.
He mentions this week's parsha also because we have it says
Where?
no, it's next week's parsha. He's
I saw. Oh yeah, by Kohanim.
About the Ketov. No, it says Ketov. Yeah, it says Ketov, and he says he's missing a vav, and then it goes into like some deep reasons as to why. They says don't think about the Korean Tiv. It's
So the Gemara Nedarim doesn't give an explanation to why. It just explains that this is a concept.
Right.
That it's written like this and we pronounce it like this. Okay? So Eli means, right, it's pronounced Eli. What does Eli mean? To me. Right? But it's written velo and not. So okay, let's go. You ready? Everybody with me? I wish I had a bottle. We have a bottle of Coke. By the way, for you guys in America, it's 11:15 by us. It's the end of the week. We're tired. We're doing this stuff for you, so you better appreciate it. We see the Kavanat of Boaz is as follows. You ready, Shlomo? Kavanat Boaz הייתה שלא לקח רות לאישה עד שהגואל יגלה דעתו שאינו רוצה לקח אותה לאישה. Unbelievable. What is Boaz has very limited interaction with Ruth and barely acts like he wants anything to do with her. Throws her something. Here's go because you shouldn't go to your mother-in-law empty-handed. What do you? If you want to give her a gift, go give her a gift. It's like you can't. Why? Because
there might be somebody else.
Because there was someone else. There was. His name was Tov. They call him Ploni Almoni.
Right.
But the Gemara in I think Sotah, right or wrong? Was it Sotah? No, it's not in Sotah. Ketuvot, right? The Gemara Ketuvot says
She was married?
No, that was
No.
someone else.
When you have Yibum, look, she died, she married a
Why
Jew.
Yibamos?
Right. No, it wasn't Yibamot.
Ruth?
Yeah, but it's not
What
about
was
what
that from about
her
Ruth?
name. No, the guy's name, the Goel's name.
Oh, Ploni Almoni.
Ketuvot, I think. Masech Ketuvot. It says what? It explains that when a woman when a husband dies, and with no children, you have to do hatzitza.
Right.
No,
Right.
Halitza.
Halitza, sorry, halitza. 11:15. Halitza. You do halitza. And what do you do halitza? You tell the brother. And the brother, if you don't want her, yeah, you put the shoe, you spit, you say you don't want a mitzvah. Very nice. Today we don't do it because our kavanah are not pure. The kavanah. No.
Yes.
You do chalitza,
Chalitza.
not
We
yibum.
Chalitza.
don't
not
do
Yibum.
Yibum.
Sorry.
We don't
They
do
don't allow yibum.
Go to
Yibum is
fast.
the very.
Yeah. Halitza we don't do.
No, Yibum we don't do.
Yibum,
Yibum we don't do. Halitza we
You
do.
want
I heard it's a very,
That's a good one.
It's pretty much the same thing as you do this tikkun.
Don't worry, part
tikkun,
two. The people don't watch as much as part one.
it's pretty rough.
Wow.
To do like she spits in his shoe.
No, it's
Because
it's a special shoe. It's a special
Oh, it's a
shoe.
special shoe, but it's like his shoe.
Yeah, but they used to acquire property with shoe.
Yeah.
They used to acquire property with shoe, which we're gonna get to soon. All right, come on, let's go.
Kadash says he
so what
has
happened?
Coke.
So
What?
Michael Kadash says he has Coke first.
Coke?
I think
Soda?
he has Coke.
I hope. Could you be a little more specific?
Wait, you still didn't translate. So the guy Plony on Plony.
So he's the Goel. He's the first in line. Boaz was.
Yeah.
From the brother that died.
Marry Ruth.
Now listen to this geniusness, huh?
Okay.
Right. Ruth is barren. She has no
it's not
kids.
a son, it's a it's
To a-
nephew.
to-
It was a nephew.
What? It
No,
was
no,
an
no,
uncle.
An uncle.
An
I
uncle.
thought it was just a brother.
No, it can't be.
Negative. No brothers. Naomi said, "Go back to your homes because I have no more sons for you guys to marry."
Got it.
You understand? So kavanat, but listen, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Naomi, Boaz's thing was to what? Naomi came with she had a field. She had fields. She wanted to sell the field. Yeah, Abimelech had fields. Don't forget.
Why was she making Ruth go to all these places to pick up?
That's a good question.
They
because
probably didn't find the fields.
They didn't find the fields, or I don't know. It's a good question. Why she had
They
to?
were not prepared.
They weren't. But no, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. It was nobody was managing it. It was probably dead.
So it was just barren.
Yeah, it's a great question. Shlomo, it's a great question. Amen. It's a great question. It wasn't managed. Nobody. It was 10 years, by the way, by the time they came back. Okay, that's why when they said Naomi was walking the streets, they're like, "Is that Naomi?" And Naomi said, "Don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara. My life is bitter. There's nothing Naomi about me." So at the end of the day, now Boaz combines. It says that Naomi has a field that she wants to sell, but it's contingent that you marry her daughter-in-law Ruth.
Ooh.
And what did Boaz do? Boaz Davka waited at the shad of the Eid, which is normal. That's the way they did. And that's where the Sanhedrin met. And by Hashkaha Pratit, Hashem had the Goel, Ploni Almoni, walk by the gate. And Boaz already had 10 of the Sanhedrin members. And he tells the Ploni Almoni, Naomi's here, she was there. You want to buy it now or not? So he goes, you wanted to buy it. He goes, but it's also contingent, you gotta marry Ruth. So he goes, oh no, I can't do that. Why can't he do that? Why not?
He didn't want it.
Why not?
He's afraid of him.
Why is he afraid?
He's not as holy as the first husband.
Nah. Different Darasha.
Okay.
No. Kavanat Boaz Aita le'achriya Goel sheyomar, the Goel should say himself to Boaz, you take it. Because Boaz was second in line. The Goel was the first in line. Okay? Kedesh shelo yishaer shum pikpuk v'ta'ana b'nisuin elu. Boaz wanted to make sure that this marriage solidified 1,000,000%. Didn't want no problems from nobody later.
Okay.
Okay? Okay? Right? So he made it contingent. He said that the sale of the field is contingent on marrying the girl. Okay? And that's what the pasuk says. Bayom kenotecha. Hagoel lo hayta yachol likach et Ruth. The Goel was not willing to acquire. He was not willing to acquire the field because he has to acquire the girl too.
Why do you want it?
Why? Very good question. You're on point tonight. Lo uchal ligol li pen ashchit, because there's a question: is this woman?
Will I lose my life?
Am I gonna lose my life? Am I gonna lose my
Am I gonna
inheritance?
be Jews?
Is she even Jewish? Who is this
Still,
woman?
they asked that question
But
3
it's
generations
Boaz
later.
with 10 people of Sanhedrin waiting for her.
Yeah, that's still Gemara's in
Obviously,
Yevamos.
she's on a
Yevamos
high
talks
level.
Yeah.
about
Because the Gemara explains, the Gemara over there explains that, and I'm jumping the gun, but I'll say it,
Okay.
that the whole issue is marrying a Moavi, a man, not a Moavit.
Yeah, but that was also
Interesting.
A Moavi, a
So
Moaviyah.
then the boys weren't really in the wrong at the end of the day.
No, they're still a goy, but Moavi is a separate isur altogether.
Ah.
Moavi
You can't
is
convert.
a separate isur altogether. That's where we learn from. But Moavi, so listen. So, but what's he afraid of? He's afraid about his lineage. If he marries
a non-Jew,
a non-Jew, Jewish, not Jewish, drama, he doesn't want to deal with it. Okay? The added about even more than that, he asked Boaz to you take her, I can't take her. Okay? And he take off his shoe to do halitza
On the spot.
on the spot. He goes, you take her. I ain't doing it. Okay? Ve'idu alav edim, and there was edim. Because that's what the Pasuk says.
Okay.
So it's a crazy situation because this from the Biyah of Boaz and Ruth comes David HaMelech, which from David HaMelech comes Melech Mashiach, who can come any day, by the way. You have to understand that Mashiach will come any day. You have to understand that. Literally any day. You ever play Russian roulette? No, but you've seen it on the movies. Right. The Russians over there.
Sasha and I.
We had
Tuesdays. What do you mean Tuesdays? That's what we do on Tuesdays.
one bottle of vodka.
Oh, Lahavdil, I heard a story on a
In the middle.
shira
And
where this guy, Mal to do something, this guy, this basketball scout was on a trip to Africa, and he finds this African guy by a fire in one of these indigenous tribes, 7'6", and he recruits him to the Washington something. I don't know.
That'd
the
be
team.
good,
It's a
yeah.
movie with Adam Sandler.
And basically, this guy broke his tooth the first time he tried to dunk on the rim because he's that tall.
What's the point of the story?
The point is, the night before, he was on a fire and not knowing if the towel around his waist is big enough. What does he want? Maybe a bigger blanket to sleep at night. And the
What
next
does that
day,
have to do with this?
that everything can change in a second. Gula. He was getting paid whatever, a multi-million-dollar contract in a penthouse.
African tribes.
And the night before, he's
Next day.
doing nothing.
Right?
Things can happen.
Okay, nice. What has nothing to do with what we're talking
I
about?
heard it on a shear a few times this week.
Very nice.
It's
I'm
not bad,
good.
you know?
Twice, two different shiurim.
No, I repeated.
Good. You just redeemed yourself. Good. That's good. Sadiq. Okay, again. So from this, the Goel didn't want to risk losing his lineage, so he didn't want to deal with it. Right, that's the Goel. That's Halitza. Right? Ve'im hayta Boaz noseh Ruth, if Ruth would have married, I'm sorry, if Boaz would have married Ruth before, then the Goel would have had a claim. He would have bought the Sadeh. He had no problem buying the Sadeh.
How come we don't learn from this? Not to be too picky about what do you call it? Shidduchim. You know how people are. What's the
No,
lineage?
it's what's meant to be.
Do you know the rabbi?
I'll tell you why. Because I think the Mahasha brings down to say that this Goel was an Amma Aretz. And he didn't know the halacha. And when he hears that they said that the halacha is that it's a Moaviyah is mutar, but Moavi is asur, he didn't have the shoulders, he didn't have the guts to say, you know what, okay, I'll take the leap. He tells Boaz, you're the Gadol Ador, you do it. I can't handle it. That's the Maharsha.
Interesting.
So it's a different thing. Now, by the way, the Midrash explains, right, in Ruth, it says, Velot lifnim b'Yisrael. We're on Tav Resh Chaf Hey. Come on, we got to do this.
Yeah.
Shemi Shemochetza, a person, this is crazy. A guy that sells his house, okay? The Midrash explains, let's say the guy sells a field, not a field, property, by the way. It doesn't have to be. No, it doesn't.
That's what it was.
Fair enough. Yes, it does. That's a
Yeah, but it means property.
No, it means anything with him. So I'll tell you over here. What is it? It's Zayin.
$9.
Zayin Yudalef. Hold on.
So smooth. Yes, it does. Good enough. Let's keep going.
Fair enough. So it's different. All right. So Rabbi Yossi Bar Avin says, Kol mi shehu mochet sadeh legoy. Anybody that sells his field to a goy, which really means property. Anyone sells their property to a goy, what do? His relatives will take a barrel and put like dried corn and nuts, okay, in the side of the barrel, roll it down where the kids are chasing after this barrel, making a lot of noise and screaming, right? Niksat peloni me'ahuzato.
Well, that's in,
What does that mean?
So and so is
that?
cut off from his
Where's
inheritance
that from? Where's
because he sold it to a goy.
That's in Daf Yomi. There's a talk about the
Are
fact
you
that
then
a lot of
complaining
stuff
about
goes
Muslims
away.
not
It's
telling
Ketuvot?
us?
No.
Ketuvot, yes, it's a ketuvot.
Is it Ketuvot?
Yes, a ketuvot.
There you go.
Kaf het amud bet.
See that?
It says it right here.
How-
Okay. And what happens? Yeah, sure, it's ours. Yeah, so whoever sold it, I don't think anyone sold it better.
Politically?
No.
Come on, I got a half hour. Come on, boys. They're not gonna pay me if I don't finish on time.
You get paid for more.
So listen, so it says, so explains, boys, listen, so explains that if you say, and same thing if a guy marries a woman who's not hagun, if she's like mamzeret or not whatever, they do the same thing. They take. However, what's your problem, Shlomo?
No, I'm just thinking of the boys in some ultra communities who are.
Stop with your ultra communities. Think about modern Orthodox. They'll do the same thing with the same nuts and the same dried corn. So get over it.
I'm more thinking about the car and Shabbat kind of thing now.
So let's stop it. But the same thing on the other side. If they buy it back from the goy, or if they divorce the woman, they'll do the same thing as we
They
call.
roll it up the hill?
They'll roll it down the hill, and they say the complete opposite. They say this right. They replace it. They say right, Hazar peloni la'ahuzato. The guy came back, and why is this a point? Because it's such an amazing time for the kids. Where it's such a loud situation, they remember it forever. They could testify when they get older. That I was there. I know. Yeah.
Preserving the.
Yes, I know that guy saw that guy bought. I know that it was his. I was there. I was 9 years old when that happened.
There was a reason for it.
Of course, there's a reason. There's always a reason. Everything we do has a reason. There's nothing we have that don't have a reason. Literally.
Yeah.
So now let's continue. So now that's what the Midrash says. Omnam, however, right? They give him kavod befersia. Very nice. Now Ruth. Yes, machzirim. What I say?
They roll him up.
They roll him up. Same thing.
No, they roll him down.
Now let's go to Ruth. Ruth, they were concerned.
What's the beginning of the paragraph? Which one?
Vechan berut. Okay, boys, look inside. Vechan berut hayu mistapkim ba haolam. Everybody was worried, concerned, asking, im hi haguna or im lav? If is she Jewish or not? Kimo, like it says, we can say later. Ve'ayin sham. Okay, good. Uboaz רצה לרמוז כשם שיש כבוד גדול לגאול את השדה, כך יש גדול לקח אישה זו לפי שהיא הגונה. Unbelievable. Here, Boaz is saying, just like we have a huge mitzvah, and the guy gets kavod befersia when he redeems the sadeh, so to this woman over there, same kavod. Because she's hagun. And she's an almanah. We have mitzvah deoraita to do yibum. Right. Shehu haya yodea bekach he knew the halacha. Because what's the halacha say? That's why I said I was going to jump the gun before, but I'll say it. Moavi velo Moavit. You're allowed to marry a girl Moavi. You're not allowed to marry a Moavi. Moavit, a girl from Moab is mutad. Moab is asur.
Does it still exist today?
Well, there's no Moabit. You don't know who's who. They don't exist anymore. The only ones that really exist today is us, if you really want to be honest. I mean, the Romans.
Everything got mixed up.
Everything's mixed. That's why Torah Kedushah is so important. Obviously.
Connect yourself.
Without saying that weirdly. Yes, correct. Yes.
We were just learning it in Arachin.
Arachin, yeah?
That there is no such thing by Jews to belong as a slave to belong to someone.
Right. So no, we talked about that. Right, Guf or Yadav. Guf or Yadav. Very good. So again, Boaz is saying Davka, he wants to redeem her to show that just like is a mitzvah, and you get kavod by redeeming the field, so too this woman, because she is hagun. Because the halakha is Moavi asur, Moavit mutar. Man asur, women is mutar. Okay, Mishumach yiratzah litlot geulat hasadeh. That's why he connected the two things together. That's why he says you want to be goel the sadeh, good, but you got to take the girl too to show that it's on the same level.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. By the way, it's
There's
crazy.
sensitivity involved as well, and the lessons learning from it.
It's also halakha. We're learning big halakha
That's
here.
what it's all about.
Well, yeah, I mean, the halakha is not going to be non-sensitive. That's the way of the Torah.
Halakha is not going to be
It's going to
sensitive.
be sensitive. It's going to be sensitive to people.
Halakha is always sensitive, by the way. Oh, if the halakha is anything, it's sensitive. Always.
V'achinam.
And okay, now let's go Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch Ora Hayim, right at the end of Purim. Okay, it's Siman Vav, by the way. I know it says Siman Zayin. No, it's not. Oh, it's Vav with Dalet, by the way.
I have that one.
Get me the hold on. What's the Siman?
Top race study here.
It's
It's
It's at the end.
it's
Sadi Hey, right?
No, that's right.
Dalet.
Yes, not
It's
that.
Dalet.
So the same guys about the Coke is asking, why is Moabite Mutter? Aren't they the same spiritual?
Gorgeous. Great question. When did this halakha come about? When Moab in the Midbar sent the girls and went to war and all that, Hashem made a decree that the Moab is cut out, but not the girls.
Because they didn't give any drink and food. So
It was the guys that made the real whatever, not the girls. So therefore, the guys are asur to enter into Am Yisrael, but not. By the way, was the guy that said I look good, or someone else?
that was in the first part.
Joking.
Also,
Okay.
the first part we had a question which we didn't do live about the whole idea of what we learned in the first part. Did it ever happen to people?
Yes, I said yes. All right, I said yes offline. Yes, he said he did it himself a few times. All right, let's finish up. Come on. So let's go. So now it says by Purim, it says a man is not allowed to send ish to ish and woman to woman. Mishloach manot. A man does not give to a woman. It's not proper. And especially, what's it called? Why? Because a man shouldn't give to an almanah. Because the almanah might construe it and say it's kiddushin.
Oh, that he's in. Oh, really?
Yeah, really. It's kiddushin.
Hayom, זה לא ככה.
Who said? Who said? Any almanah that needs what? What are you talking about? How do you know? How do you know?
בכסף שאתה מביא, huh?
So what do you want? Safek kiddushin. Safek kiddushin.
You said they're a cookie.
About matanot aniyim, about giving tzedakah doesn't count. You don't have to worry. Okay, that's what the Megilat brings.
We got another quite clever. Dan Smith wrote, the Moabite violated humanity ethics by not welcoming the passengers of food and water while passed through.
That's
The Moabite was not expected to go out to the wilderness and serve the Jewish travelers.
All right, what's his name? Dance what?
Dan Smith.
Okay.
So
Dan,
the first
Dan,
one-
not dance.
Michael Kardash asked the question and Dan Smith answered it, as well as
I
obviously.
need to know, is it Dan Smith or is it dance?
Yeah, like, shave it down.
Shove it down. All right, Dan, are you good?
Michael
All right,
Kardash.
Dan.
yes, correct. That's why. Because when they went, right, they said if you come out, we're gonna come out
Michael
with a
said,
sword.
thank you very much. Nice.
Nice call. Good call. All right, good. So let's continue. So now by Purim, it says the halakha is that a man is not allowed to give mishloach manot to the woman, because if you do, then it's my safek kiddushin, which is halakha l'maaseh. Right? Magen Abraham says sheimlu shehem sivlonot v'choshim kiddushin. Exactly the same thing. Mishum hachi Boaz. Now to bring it back, remember we have this concept of not giving it because it's hoshesh kiddushin. So same thing. Boaz did not want to give her a gift. Remember we said, why did you just give her? You want to give it to her, give her a gift. Can't give her a gift. Because if you give her a gift, it's going to be hoshesh safek kiddushin. Safek kiddushin. Right? If Boaz gives her something that is derech matana, derech kavod, right? Then somebody might say, oh, it's safek kiddushin, and then the whole thing's null and void, and the Boaz's whole plan goes out the window. Right? Sheharei ima goel haya yodeya. If the goel knew, sheboaz hitchil lekadesh et rut kodem reshuto, if the goel would have known that Boaz was going to do it before his time, before his
He's giving her a gift.
you're giving you a gift.
Like,
He would have got cold feet and said, you know what, maybe I do want to marry her. Because I want the field.
So
I don't want to marry her because I don't think she's Yehud. I don't think she's Jewish. Now that I know Boaz is going to do it, oh, beauty. Great, I get a field. I'm going to go by the field. I get extra.
Basically, the whole thing is that Boaz basically was trying to make sure that there was no suspicious activity beforehand at all. So that way, when he does ask her to marry her, it's completely legitimate. Right.
Seguro.
Right.
In Spanish.
Yeah, but in SY you say legit.
100% seguro. 100% it'll be solid. That's what it is.
So that's why he threw it on her.
Sigulo.
That's what seguro.
Seguro.
That's why he threw it on her because he doesn't want to show her as a matana. Right? לא היה מתרצה או לעשות אותו מעשה, לא לצורך, רק רצה שתקבל דרך בתורה. That's why he threw it on her. Remember we said the 6 shiburim, 6 shiburim.
Give it to your mother-in-law.
Give it to her. Don't go to your mother-in-law. Just give it to her. So, by the way, what girl could carry 6 bundles of shiburim?
What guy can carry?
What guy can carry?
In those days.
Okay. כשנתן לה 6 שעורים.
No, I think it's. I don't know if it's 6 bundles. It might actually be just 6.
Remember,
6
like,
pieces.
it was a whole different lifestyle. People,
Not relevant. We can answer the question in a minute, or maybe not here. Yeah, we might ask. Let's do this, right? We're 5 minutes and we're good. Boys, 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yep.
Dan Smith, 5 minutes. שנתן when he gave her 6 שעורים, הבינה רות שכוונתו הייתה שלא תבוא ריקה מלחמותה. Ruth understood the kavanah was not to go empty-handed to your mother-in-law. But he did it. She did. Lo ratza lomar la kedei shelo tiyeh mashma matana. He didn't want to say it as if he didn't want to come out as a gift. He didn't want to come off as a gift. Mishum hachi, therefore, it says Eli. Remember we said Eli, and it's written velo and not, but it said to me. If you look, it's in Perek. What Perek is it?
Perek Gimel Pasuk Yud Zayin.
Right. So the pasuk says, "Vatomer shesh seorim haele natan li." Okay. Ruth tells Naomi that these are the 6 given to me. Ki amar Eli, al tavoi rekam el hamotech. Because he told to me. What is this to me? If you look at the Megilat, it says velo. And we read it Eli. Right? Eli means to me, don't go to your mother-in-law empty-handed. What does that mean? She understood. Because Milat Eli, right? Because Boaz is saying in his heart, the truth is though, but the truth was that he's telling her, I want to marry you, but I can't tell you. So give it to your mother. Don't bring nothing to your mother. It's amazing. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. It's not sensitive. No. He can't. If anyone finds out, if there's any hashash that he gave any type of matana, it's gonna be a safek kiddushin like it says in Shulchan Aruch. So because I was like, hey, give it, take it to her. But he's telling her. Subconsciously, he's telling her, I do want to marry, but I can't tell you nothing. Because I want it to be segura because there's another guy in line. That's what's going on. It's unbelievable. It really is crazy. I tell you, Ruth is an atom bomb. Megilat Ruth is an atom bomb. It's amazing. Then we'll give you another answer. Zera Shimshon is going to give you another answer. Quick. He hinted to her that 6 children are going to come from her that are going to be zocher, 6 berachot, 6 seorim that he gave us is going to be a remes that you're going to get 6 children with 6 berachot. Who are these 6 children? David, the Mashiach, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. And what are the 6? What are the 6 berachot that they received? They were unblemished, whatever that means.
They were born with
No, David was born Mahu, but not everyone else.
Unblemished. I mean, I don't know. Unblemished. Good looking. Gotta look good looking. They were smart, wise, had ochma. They were discriminating, which I don't understand what that means.
Where were you?
I'm reading this outside. This is in Gemara Sanhedrin. Okay? They were perceptive and they had stamina. These are the 6 berachot that Gemara Sanhedrin explains what they got. Right? Interesting. Right?
Sounds good.
So, it sounds good. I'll take one of each, please.
Discriminating, probably that means that they were able to choose
The right,
the right
right,
thing for
right choice.
themselves.
Right.
Because when you're very, very hungry, you eat whatever you see.
Okay.
When you're not very hungry, you're able to control yourself and you choose this is healthier, tastier, whatever it is. So you're essentially discriminating. When you're choosing this tie over that tie, you discriminate against this tie. That's a legal definition of
Discriminating also means you're able to make a decision, choosing, right?
Right. Oh, okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you. Very good.
Nice.
So good. So im can, if so, hatikva shayta la le Naomi sheyisa'ena, the hope that Naomi had that she would get married, and don't come empty-handed. Vegam hiyavtaha tova elea. Veze elai. That's what it means. She said to me. He said to me. And even though it's read velo, what does that mean? Ve'elai. Elai mamash. Sheisa oti leishash. That he's going to take me as a wife. Aval lo amar ken beferush. He didn't say it in beferush because he could not. So we learned from this that I have chills. I literally have chills.
So beautiful.
But it's so powerful. Boaz, by the way, Boaz is Boaz. The guy was a champ. You don't understand. Boaz was a melech. You have no idea, huh?
The knowledge of Ruth, how she just picked up on all of it.
Because there's a way of the world. The way of the world is that if you're gonna give me something, maybe it's a safek kiddushin. So now that you're not giving me, okay, I understand. You understand? It's different.
He didn't want to cause the guy not to do the chalitza right away.
And he was very careful with the guy. Hashkaha Pratit, the Gemara explains, it was Hashkaha Pratit that the guy was at the shad of the city at the exact time that Boaz had 10 people with Dayanim ready to go. And it says in the Midrash, I think, that it says in the Midrash that he dafka went that he brought that even if the guy was at the end of the world, they would have brought the goel to the Shad HaMelech right away, because Boaz should not have to wait. Boaz was Sadiq Amur.
Why is it a more popular name?
Huh?
Why is it a more popular name?
Boaz is a great name.
Yeah, a lot of powers.
I should
hear
book it.
so much.
Let's go to his kever. It's in Bethlehem.
Yeah.
No way.
I don't know where.
Boaz?
Yalla.
Yossi Sosa tells me this.
Root is no. We don't. I don't think it's known. But Root is in kever Ruth and Ishai in Hebron.
Right, you're.
You can go right now.
Who's Yishai again?
I've shifted them too.
Her grandson.
Everybody should have a beracha. Really, in our there's
Yeah.
nothing better than learning when you're exhausted.
Oh,
Because the Meharal used to take it, he had very long period. He used to tie them to the windowsill, right? The drapes or whatever. Yeah. And when he would fall asleep, he couldn't fall.
That's cool.
Okay, but he did it to himself. Why? Yeah. It made it to himself what? I'm glad you like it. It was pretty painful for him, but he did it.
I got there.
It's not painful.
What? It's all about how much you're willing. It's okay.
That's how it prepares every day.
It's all about how much you're willing to sacrifice. I was learning my Havruta before, and we were talking about this. I have a few minutes. I'm going to tell you something. There's a story that I said that he told me. A story that he told me that in the 60s, there was a guy in Brooklyn, in New York, that was an immigrant from Europe or Syria, I don't know where. I think Europe, I think Syria. And back in the day, retail was a big deal. And you would have to work on Saturdays. That was a big deal. You must work on Saturdays. So the guy would take a job on Sunday. Saturday would come, he wouldn't work. He would get fired on Sunday because the owners knew the story already. And every 2 weeks, the guy's finding a new job. Very nice. He collected, my Havruta tells me the story, that the guy would collect all his pink slips that he got, because back in the day, they were very professional. They give you a slip, thank you very much, you're out. He used to hang them up in his sukkah and say, I am with you, Hashem. I know you support me. I don't need nobody. No, I don't need nothing else.
That was his noise sukkah.
That was his noise. That was his.
Now
I got more. Because this week I was able to hear the story third hand. Yes. How? My other Havruta.
Joey.
No, Joey. My other Havruta, Hacham David Daor. He's a rabbi. He used to be a rabbi in Venezuela. Used to be a rabbi 10 years
Is
ago.
that the one who says the stories?
No.
Okay.
He was in a rabbi in Venezuela. And one of the people.
It's no Panasa.
What, Venezuela? What am I telling you? He was there and he tells, and the guys, and one of the guys tell my Havruta the story. That there was a shohet, they had no, what's it called? They had no, what's it called? Butchers. No butchers in Venezuela. They would bring in someone from the States, okay, once a year or every 6 months, and the guy would just shecht all the animals he could, and that would be the meat for people of Venezuela.
Straight to the freezer.
Straight to the freezer. He tells one of the guys in Venezuela, ask him, "Where are you from?" He tells him, I'm from New York." He goes, "New York? It's a very modern place. How are you able to stay religious?" So he says, "I'll tell you, my father, it's crazy, but this is third hand and it's much more hazard."
Yeah.
He says, "My father would get a job every week, but what he said was different. He said he'd take the pink slip and he would kiss it, and he would laminate it. He laminated each one every 2 weeks, every week, every something, laminate, and he would collect them. And yes, he used it as noi. He says that this shohet says, I grew up with love of Torah. I grew up with love, with knowing that my father would suffer, and he didn't care. He chose the Torah over money every week." He goes, and I heard it third hand, that story. You understand?
We should be besimcha then. That we should
Everything you do has to be with simcha.
Because I had a family business. I could have gone into it very easy, and I didn't.
Woo!
Shkaya.
Baruch Adonai Le'olam, amen ve'amen. Rabbi Hanina בקשה אומר, עשה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל לפיך, יבעל את תורה זו שנאמר, אדוני יחפש למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר. אשכנז? ספורט.
כל החבר'ה.
בעלינו, כן? זה הקדיש בעלינו?
כן, על ישראל.
ישראל.
Shlomo, it's like everyone in this Boaz can't say these things in public. He can only be like, these six
He can't. If he says it.
And it's like,
רבי יחניה בקשה ועשה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל לפיך, יבעל תורה זו שנאמר, אדוני יחפש למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר. Amen. Amen. Don't answer amen unless you're online. Amen. Yes, Amen. Amen. إلهنا لا استنى
Everyone should send your names to Yeshuot. Keep joining all our WhatsApp groups.
turn the table. להחליף את השולחן.
כל השפעה טובה.
ורה בן סוניה ופאינה בצילה. אתם נכנסים לגנים בני לכם כל הסברות עימם בזה 5 דקות. לכן יהיה רצון לומר אמן.
חג ברוך.
Thank you.
Yes, I do, right there.
We'll be in Shavuot next week. The jump to.
Okay, I need this table moved. I need it switched out. It's the bluebird.